You've seen the videos. And I wanted in on that action. So here it is, the official Melee strategy guide, containing great insights such as how to unlock Pikachu, and that DK is not one to cover up the goods, and letting me know that Fox's grab, although not devastating, do decent amounts of damage, so fall back on them if nothing else is working, which I guess isn't entirely wrong. Now you may be wondering, how do we beat Melee? Well, for this video, we're going to do just about what any kid would do, and beat the adventure mode. Now, I searched this book from top to bottom, and I just couldn't find anything on advanced techniques like L cancelling and wave cheating, so I'll have to go without those. And of course, I'm throwing away my box for a regular old GameCube controller. Now we're all set, let's dive into adventure mode. For stage 1-1, we get a nice little descriptor of all our enemies. Koopas are Bowser's shock troopers. Now I'm just imagining Koopas on D-Day, and that's kind of just horrifying. But the whole level, as they say, is taking down Goombas and Koopas. I also somehow lost a stock on this opening level. Don't ask me, I'm just as ashamed as you are. Next is the face-off on Princess Peach's castle against Mario and Peach. The guide does this lovely thing where for each stage run, it gives us extra tips to help us with the stage. On this one, it says, stay in the middle. Got it. Huh, works like a charm. On the next stage versus these tiny DKs, we should stay in the middle. Okay, thanks Nintendo. Works like a charm. What should we do versus the big DK? Make use of the center. God, I'm glad MTK isn't here, or he'd probably be accusing me of stage camping right now. With DK dispatched, it's on to probably the coolest thing in adventure mode, the underground maze. Now it says here that my goal is to KO all 5 links, and as many of those Redead, Octoroks, and likes as possible. Huh. I just learned that those Suckatron 5000s are called likes. Learn something new every day, I guess. I've never done the maze this way though, so here goes. After committing mass genocide and getting sucked and fucked and defeating all 5 links, we exit the maze. On to Hyrule. What's the advice here? Make sure to use your ability to drop through platforms by pushing down. Man, why didn't I think of that? And after a high-speed chase, we're moving on to Brinstar. Now, I'll give you a shiny sticker if you can guess where the guide says we should fight. Is it A, B, C, or D? That's right, it's on the giant subscribe button. Wow, maybe you should take his advice and go do it as well. After taking out Samus, it's time to escape from Brinstar. Enemies, none. Except the Glock. I mean, the clock. Next up is the Kirby Gauntlet, or as the guide lovingly calls them, Puffballs. But here I made the stupid mistake of not listening to the guide, and I attacked the block, making me take some horrible damage. But luckily, we escaped unscathed. And after cleaning up the Attack of the Clones and Godzilla Mochi with our power and smash attacks, we move on. On to Corneria, and I just learned that the ship isn't actually called Corneria, and is apparently called the Great Fox. You learn a lot of new things every day, I guess. Also, I learned that the bullets from the ship do 30%, and after testing this a bit too much, I lost 2 more stocks. Curiosity really did just kill the cat, I guess. We dispatch Fox and Fox again to move on to an average Friday night at Ash's house. It just says to use Pokeballs and don't let them have them, so... For the foot race, the guide very specifically says average characters, which I believe Samus falls into, should jump every 3rd platform. So, that's what I'll do. 1, 2... No, sure I make 3, right? Oh, I made 3! Oh, right. I am shocked that actually worked. I then KO Captain Falcon and move on to beating up kids outside of a drugstore, or Onet. Now, the stage tip for Onet is, oh my god, it tells me to get off the awnings, so away from the center. Jesus Christ, things are getting intense out here. When I'm done forcibly stopping kids from falling into the life of drugs, it's time to go hiking. The polar bear wears sunglasses. Sick. and after endangering the local wildlife and beating up the local people, we move on to the final stages of adventure mode. I've always found the wireframes so cool, and the guide actually taught me that the male and female wireframes have different attack patterns. But as you get to the end, they start to attack together, which is pretty neat. Although I didn't see it while they were brutalizing me on this top platform, still we hit them with our strong and smash attacks, as instructed, and somehow scraped out alive, and move on to the heaviest bros I have ever seen. No tips here, just pure instinct, using what I've learned at this point to defeat the metal foes. Yeah, it was pretty easy. I just kicked him, like I've done everyone else. Now, onto the final stage. No advice other than the stage tips. What does the guide have to say for Final Destination? Let's see. No gimmicks. And of course, thank you, Nintendo. I know what I must do. And that's beating Melee as Nintendo intended. Obviously, there's so much more to this guide and more potential for videos, so if you like this video, please show your support. If we get enough traction on this vid, I'll 100% do a beating Melee's event mode as Nintendo intended it. So hit the like and let me know what you thought, or maybe a challenge that you want to see me do next. Thanks for watching, see ya!